The question of fuel
tank, and Hamlin will do that and go as far as they can go, hoping that somehow he can make up these 3.5 seconds.
Not just somehow, but the question of fuel on board will be answered. When they get to the switch, he then knows exactly how many laps he has to run to the finish. He'll pit under green. If he only needs 9 gallons, that's all they'll be in the pit box for. There'll be no guesswork. There'll be no extra fuel. We are talking quarts. We aren't measuring in the gallons. We're measuring in the quarts at this point.
Chris Gale, first-year crew chief with Denny Hamlin. They've won twice this year, and Hamlin making his 700th career start here tonight.
So look at the burn bar, 4.7 miles per gallon. I think some of that is just the older tires. He can't burn as much fuel because he doesn't have the grip. I think he's probably going as hard as he can, although Hamlin is so good at sending. Hand out the window. There it is. Live to pit road right here. Let's see what Hamlin does, how much fuel they need.
You heard the car stumble.
Saw Blaney go by, and that'll be the race when Hamlin comes off and the 12 coming back around.
Absolutely. The 12 has to finish his lap. He has a whole lap to make up. The question now is, what do they have? I'm assuming 4 tires, but is it a 9-second pit stop? We've seen a lot of 10.5, Marty.
Let's watch the time here, to your point, Steve, and that was very well timed for the 11 because he hit the switch on the backstretch. We heard that radio live. Now they're going to take only the fuel they need, waiting just a little bit. Chris Gale finally says go. We'll see where he cycles out with the 12 car.
So he's going to cycle out behind the 12 cars with the start-finish now, but remember, he also has a little bit fresher tire. Will that pay off over the last 44 laps? So there goes what will become the race leader. There are other cars we haven't pitted, so Blaney, first car can make it on fuel, on board with Hamlin. There's Hocevar in the 77, great shot. Hamlin sees that too. He's like, oh man, I gotta get the 77. He knows these other cars he has to know, but out in front of Logano, out in front of Jones, out in front of Byron. So, as far get through traffic cleaner.
Yeah, and it's not just this 1 or 2 cars. There's about 6 or 7 cars right here in front of Blaney that he's gonna have to find his way by, and his lap times are struggling because of it.
How much of that is racing luck versus managing your pit stop so that you know when you exit, you're going to have some clean racetrack to work with?
A little bit of both, and I think this is when the veteran champion of Ryan Blaney is what they want to lean on. He can be emotional on the radio, but I don't see that hurt his lap time, and I think at this point, he just needs to focus at the 42. He gets emotional because his IQ of racing is so high, he knows what's happening behind him. He doesn't need an update.
Last lap on the racetrack, you run a 30.27, Hocevar 30.12, Blaney at 29.95. The Max pushing the car, trying to get by this lap traffic, getting more and more frustrated every corner. And this is Nemechek. Nemechek's already 1 lap down. Look at the time that Blaney's losing here.
And just remind everybody, left side, look at the difference in tires over here, right? Blaney 18 laps, Hamlin only 10. It's 8 laps fresher, but at this point of the race, it all matters. Look at this slide, Dale.
It's a really big moment inside the car. And we saw many cars get loose on entry. It's really wild. And listen to in-car radio here.
Oh my God, dude. One down, so he's not giving it up. You don't want to beat dogs. Try and just keep digging here. Doing everything I can to get you help. So I just throw him off the stand.
He wants to throw his spotter off the stand. That is a spotter talking. Like, hey, obviously we want to go up here and try to win this race, but we also need to finish. If we got a second place car, we need to bring it home in second.
That same exact thought is what I think the 23 of Bubba Wallace have. You talked about it early, this horrendous run of finishes for 23-11, and specifically Bubba Wallace. I mean, look at that, 35th, 33rd, 33rd. I thought it all came apart today when he had a penalty on pit road, but here he is back in 6th. What a recovery out of this 23 car. It may only look like a top 5 at the end of the day if he's able to get Byron in front of him for 5th, but it could have been much worse, and a much-needed swing of momentum after the final 3.
That 8th place finish at Talladega, the only top 10 for the organization in the last 5 races at 23-11.
And Danny put him on notice. He wants to see more out of the organization, so Bubba responding today.
Reddick was great last week, had the speeding penalty. He's had some problems here tonight. He's 11th right now as we hit 21 laps to go in the race.
And that last lap, Hocevar knocked a little chunk out of it. Oh, the 3 car way up the racetrack right there in the outside of turn 1 and 2. He's going to get the car gathered up and back down the racetrack. But Hocevar, even in this traffic, is still not, you know, he's closed in a little bit.
Well, remember earlier in the day, we heard a lot of people talking about brake fade, brake shake, brake issues. 81-lap run where they're absolutely pushing the hardest. Still have 21 laps to go. So if we run this green to the finish, it'll be the longest thing. See right here, oh, just a big loose moment for the 3. You wonder if that's a braking thing, why I bring it up. You're messing with the balance, you're tired, everything's bad.
So many people have got loose on entry. It's been wild to see them save some of those slides.